Hey everyone, a little mini disclaimer, please excuse the nasally weird sounds coming out of me now. I am sick, so just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. I finally finished my first bag of the MSM that I've been taking, and I did the whole 1 month update on, and I kind of wanted to give you a new update on basically how long it's lasted, the changes that I've experienced, and my overall thoughts and opinions on it since I did it completely and it's been another month. One of, I guess, the biggest changes overall that I will get into later is that if you've watched my last video, you will notice in this video that my hair is shorter, but that's because I cut it, and I'll explain to you why in 1 minute. I had purchased the MSM in July, and that's when I began taking it, and I've only been taking 1 teaspoon per day, and it's lasted me pretty much 2 months. So if you take it at the recommended dosage that the directions give, which is 2 teaspoons a day depending on your weight, then it'll pretty much last you a full month, and then you basically have to keep purchasing it every month. Since I've been taking half of that, it lasted 2 months, and if you're taking even less than that, then of course it'll last you much longer depending on the dosage that you're taking. So the reason why my hair is shorter, long story. MSM changes your hair texture, or it can change, which is what it did for mine. I only noticed this because I twisted my hair in one of those cute little protective styles like overnight, and when I took it out, I absolutely loved how my curls looked after it dried, and it was like really nice. So I decided to do it again after my wash day, and I twisted my hair, I let it dry, and then when I took it out, it just is not the same. And I was kind of confused as to what was different. Like, I didn't do anything different in regards of routine. I didn't put anything new in my hair. It's been the same old for the past 2 months, or actually more than 2 months. Like, I literally do the same thing every day. I was kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's, I don't know. So I kind of just let it roll, and when I would put the oils in my hair, it wasn't necessarily accepting it like it used to do, and my hair just felt more coarse and just weird. I kind of didn't make the connection that the MSM, of course, it makes your hair grow. My hair was even more thicker than what it was before, so that's why it felt more, I would say, coarse. The nape of my hair became super curly. You were able to see the difference in the last update video I had, but it was even more than that. It just shrunk when it dried. My hair was clearly 2 completely different textures. Like, the back was like really curly and the top was just really loose wavy curls. But I tried my best to ignore it and just move past it, and just, I said I wasn't going to do anything to my hair, and I didn't want to go overboard like I normally do. So whenever it dried, I would just try and stretch out the back so it would look even, which it did, and then it was just fighting with it day by day. So I accepted the fact that that's my hair now, and it was kind of crazy and not listening anymore. The brown kind of grew on to me a little bit more, and I figured, like, whatever, I like it. I'm just gonna touch up the back of my hair since it was more black than the rest of my hair and make it all even and nice ombre kind of effect. So irrational me decided to grab my developer and my bleach, and I decided to lighten the ends of my hair. So I did. I put it in my hair and I let it sit. Nothing happened. I let it sit longer, added heat, more time went by, nothing happened. And so I didn't want to like overkill my hair, and it wasn't changing at all. I didn't know what was wrong. It just was not changing color at all. So I was like, okay, I don't want to damage my hair, so I washed it out, and then I noticed it changed like a hint, like maybe 2 small shades to brown, and the tips of my hair became lighter. So I figured maybe it was the fact that it's been a really long time since I bleached and colored my hair, so maybe I need new product. So I gave my hair, you know, a week or two time to rest and restore itself back to where it was before I tried to bleach it again. And so I bought new stuff and I put it in my hair and I let it sit. Nothing happened. Let it sit longer. Nothing happened. Added heat. Let it sit even longer than it did before and nothing happened. I was like, okay, I guess my hair is never going to change. And this is how resistant it used to be. And so it's full on. Never going to listen to me again. As a result, that changed my hair even more than what the MSM was doing. And it just loosened my curls. And the problem with that was just the fact that the top of my hair was a lot looser than the nape of my hair in the first place. So all the curls kind of dropped from the top half, and the back it kind of loosened just a tad. So the back was really curly and the top just looked pretty. Like you can still kind of see like this is as good as it's gonna get. And you can see like here it's like like actual curls in the back. So what happened was that a lot of my hair was hanging further than the back. It looked like it was unhealthy, and it looked like it was breaking, and it looked like it was thinning out at the bottom, which wasn't the case, because like if I pull the back and I pull the top, it'll be the same length. It's just how it looks when it's curly, and that drove me insane, and I just couldn't take it. So I grabbed the scissors and I just started cutting away, and it basically cut about 3 inches or so off, so it kind of would look even to the back of my hair, and hopefully when it grows it'll look more even than what it was. Fast forward 3 hours into the future, I got a little scissor happy again, and after I was editing and watching the playback, I just figured, you know what, instead of waiting longer for my hair to grow for me to cut it, I'm just gonna cut it now. I missed a couple of spots, like it's like tedious finding all the strands to cut it, so when it grows a little bit more I will just chop off the rest. But I did cut off a good 3 more inches. I have no idea how much damage I truly did, like cutting even wise, but still decent length. It now is here, before it was here, so yeah, about 6 inches or so, like 5 or 6 I cut off. Just wanted to update you on my hair, so we'll get back to the video. But that was my fault. I shouldn't have colored, I shouldn't have done any of that stuff, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't really mind cutting it because the MSM makes it grow back really fast anyway, so it's whatever to me. But overall, I enjoy the results I have received from taking the MSM, especially with my joints. I have not experienced any aches or pains, no swelling, no nothing, and I'm always on my feet, always standing, running, walking, whatever. So that is what I'm most excited and happy about. And then second comes the hair growth. Not everywhere else. Everywhere else hair growth is really annoying, but the hair on my head growth is what makes me happy. Since I have posted my 1 month update and explaining all of that good stuff about MSM and the pros and the cons of all that, many of you have shared your experiences with me and gave really good advice and tips. That's what I love, and that's what I want with creating this channel. I want to create a community where we all can share information and help each other out. Though I may experience one thing, you might experience another, so I like getting all sides of everything. Some of you have told me you've experienced your eyelashes like becoming thicker and just less fallout, that their hair has become a lot denser, thicker, and of course this speedy hair growth. Some have experienced like a boost in energy. They too have experienced no joint pain, which is just what I love. Also, a change in period, and I know that was a concern for some, and some asked me. I still can't fully give a full synopsis of, you know, if there is any change, because I've only started taking it 2 months, so I feel like I would need to take it much longer to see if there is a full change. I haven't experienced any change, but some said that it's calmed their period down and made the cramping a little less, so I have no idea. I'm useless when it comes to that. So if any of you have experienced any changes, please feel free to share if it's not too much information. And the cons, I haven't experienced heartburn, but some have, so you should take that into consideration. The usual headaches, migraines, nausea, all that they've experienced, and I feel a solution would be to drink more water, like a lot more water. And it'll really tell you when you're not drinking enough, because I've caught myself a couple times throughout these past 2 months when I was lacking drinking water, especially at work when I couldn't really go to the bathroom, so I wasn't really drinking as much, and I would have the meanest headache like towards the end of the day, and I knew that was the reason, but you know, just drink more water. Some have experienced bloating, being gassy, and that's basically it. Nothing, you know, insane. Since this is a nasty medicine to take, like taste wise, I know I would just eat like a tiny piece of chocolate. If you don't eat chocolate, some say honey helps. Putting it in their smoothie. It's highly suggested to take with real vitamin C, and that will boost your hair and health. You can mix it with like juices, like orange juice, cranberry juice, any of that, and it's basically one of the tips. One of my, I don't know if you're a subscriber or just a viewer, they said to definitely start small. I jumped right into it because I'm impatient, so of course I experienced all of that fun headaches and nausea for the first like day or so, but they highly recommend taking small dosages and then increasing it later on. I still have not increased it to the recommended 2 tablespoons. Whoa, teaspoons, not tablespoons. Tablespoons is way too much. Teaspoons. Sorry. Yeah, I'm really kind of out of it right now. But yeah, start small, I would definitely say, if you are taking it, and let me know what you've experienced and how it's going for you. So with that being said, have a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching. Please, if you are not subscribed, click that subscribe button, and thank you so much for sticking around. When I'm not on here, I am on my main channel where I do like a lot of creative, artsy things, mostly cosplay, special effects, body paints, and all that stuff. So if you're interested, you can head out over there and subscribe there too. So I will see you lovelies next time.